Doing that extra shit for what?
Yeah, Woodbury and Fair Oaks. Give me your hand.
Alright. Give me your hand right now.
You want to act like a dummy, dude? Ain't no point in it, bro.
Separate your feet. Come on, man.
Stand by for
You hurting my ankle, man? Come on, bro. There you go. Come on, man.
Better stop.
Stop.
Stop. Don't get up. Don't get up.
Do not get up.
Do not get up.
Bro.
Do not get up.
Come on, bro. You're about to catch an
Do not get up.
I know, bro, but why? For what? I didn't even do
Do not get up. Give us your hand.
Put your hand.
Put your hand. 75. We need another unit.
Kill it, bro. What the
station.
Come on, bro.
Give us your
hand. You're trying to put my hand behind my head, bro. My hand is behind my head.
75 Fair Oaks.
My hand is behind my head, bro.
Put him in hooks.
Yep. Got him.
But what are you doing this for? Bro, where's your officer, bro? Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer at? Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer?
Shut the up,
Where's your commanding officer?
It's no point acting like this.
Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer? Where's your commanding officer?
Don't pull away from me.
Where's your commanding officer?
Stop pulling away.
Where's your commanding officer?
Stop pulling away.
Where's your commanding officer?
He has the cuffs. He won't give me his hands.
What you doing, bro? Come on, man.
S95, we're in a fight.
Come on, bro.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
Come on, bro.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
My hand's right here.
Turn around. Turn around.
Come on, bro.
Turn around.
Oh, ow.
Give me your hands.
Okay. Ow. Stop,
Stop
please.
fighting. Stop fighting.
Put
your hands behind your head.
Stop, bro. Come on, man. I'm innocent.
Give me your hands.
I didn't do anything, man. I'm just here, bro. I'm just trying to go home, bro. Come on, man.
S95 still fighting.
What are you doing, bro? Come on, bro.
We're good.
I didn't even do anything, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. I didn't do nothing to you. Come on, bro. Look at me. What the is this?
S95, we having handcuffs.
Come on, bro. I didn't do anything to you guys. I was already put over getting gas. What are y'all doing?
There's no point in acting like
What
this,
are y'all doing, man?
There's no point in
Bro,
acting
what
like
are y'all doing? Y'all not doing this shit right. What are y'all niggas doing? Y'all niggas doing extra stuff, bro. Y'all niggas doing extra stuff, bro. What are y'all doing? Y'all just assaulting me, bro.
There's no point in acting like this.
Y'all just assaulting me.
You understand me?
Look at me, I'm leaking blood. Y'all assaulting me, bro. I don't do nothing but getting gas.
Yeah. We haven't patted him down yet.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing, man. All I'm doing is trying to get gas. I gotta go home. You're looking at this assault.
Can you get an RA, Sergeant?
All I did was try to get gas. I'm trying to go to a victim because I got blood in my eyes and shit. Come on, man. Bro, I got blood in my eyes. I have blood in my eyes.
This is your scar.
I have blood in my eyes. I have blood in my eyes, man. What are y'all doing?
You good, man? You good? I'm good.
It's not just the city of Pasadena, but those two officers involved in this beating, well, they were also named in the lawsuit. Balu told reporters earlier today that he complied fully with police orders that night.
All right, give your hand right now.
You want to act like a dummy, dude?
A confrontation between Christopher Balu and two Pasadena police officers quickly escalated the night of November 9th after that 21-year-old exited his white Mercedes headed inside a gas mart. Graphic body cam and dash cam video, which the Pasadena city manager recently released, depicted the violent incident that followed after those officers claim Balu, who they reportedly pulled over for traffic violations, resisted arrest.
Do not get up.
Balu's attorney announced plans to sue the city of Pasadena, Pasadena police, and the two officers involved in the severe beating he sustained that night.
They were being very aggressive towards me. They were treating me as if I wasn't a person, as if I was already a criminal.
Give me your hands!
A witness's cell phone camera also captured the scuffle as Balu, who repeatedly asks for a commanding officer, is punched and beaten with a baton. At one point, an officer even draws his gun.
It makes my heart sorry, very sorrowful that those kinds of things are happening in the community and that it happened to my son.
As far as I know, these officers are still patrolling when really they should be facing criminal charges.
Balu was eventually arrested, facing assault with a deadly weapon other than a firearm on a police officer. But the DA's office rejected the criminal charges due to lack of evidence. Attorney John Burton also showed reporters these pictures of his battered client who suffered facial injuries and a broken leg and is still traumatized by that night.
Every time I hear my own voice, I relive the experience. Even right now, I'm shaking because it's just a lot. When I watch this video, the only thing that I can think of is just how thankful I am to still be here.
Burton wouldn't comment on how much they're seeking in financial damages.
Good evening, Facebook family friends. Today it is Wednesday. It's January 3rd, the year is 2018. That's 2018. It is freezing cold here in Atlanta. Freezing cold. But I'm burning up. So anyway, I don't know what it is about my body, but I don't get cold like everybody else. In fact, when we had New Year's Day dinner over here, everybody else walked in the house and said it was freezing. I was burning up. I was like, okay, so I had to turn the heat on. It proceeded to sweat for the next few hours. Earl likes to turn his heat up sky high. I like to turn this heat down low. I don't know what it is, but excuse me, I don't know what it is, but I don't like heat. I've never cared for heat. Especially in the wintertime, I don't like the dry heat. So when the furnace is on or something like that, it's torture to me. So I prefer a cool, cold house. I've always been like that. So, you just watched that news report of this young man what is his name? Let's see. This was in Pasadena. And it happened on November the 10th, 2017. But the video was released, I believe, on December 22nd through 23rd. And there are a lot of reports about this incident, and everybody's saying that the police abused him, and that the police should have training on how to de-escalate encounters with civilians and avoid using excessive force if possible. So, this young man, and this is just my take on this, the young man was pulled over. He's 21 years of age. His name is Christopher Ballo. He initially walked away from officers when they first approached him, and then pulled away as they tried to handcuff him. During the struggle, Ballo, I don't know what his name is, can be seen briefly grabbing an officer's baton as he's being struck. All right, so you all have seen the video. There are some pictures of the injuries he sustained. I'm very sorry that this happened to this young man. But if that had been my son, and I think some people are not going to understand this. When the police approached that young man, all he had to do, if you know he had done it, in the video he kept screaming he hadn't done nothing wrong. I believe him, he hadn't done anything wrong. But when those police officers approached him, he should have peacefully let them just talk with him, even handcuffed him. They had a right to. They can do this to any American citizen. That's what the police are there for. Now, I don't agree with him struggling with this police officer. Let me tell you why. This man just got injured severely for no reason at all. Now, had he just peacefully listened to his officers, I've been handcuffed and briefly detained, he would have been home peacefully that day. The charge against him were later dismissed, but those injuries are going to last him a lifetime. Those officers don't give a fuck about him. Let's just keep it real. They done moved on. Even if they get fired or dismissed, or he even files a lawsuit and wins, which is probably going to happen, the officers ain't coming out, the money isn't coming out of their pockets. This man got to live with lifelong injuries. About nothing. I don't agree. I know a lot of you all are probably going, I can see the comments now from you ignorant Negroes. But had that been my son, I'd have said, you should, when those officers approached you, I would have preferred that you talk to them, not pulled away from them. Those were two adult police officers, far older than you. They had control in that situation. And they harmed you and beat you and did severe injuries to you because of your foolish behavior. You should have stood there. Listen to what they had to say. Even if they had briefly detained you, I'm cool with that. They were going to have to let you go if you knew you had done nothing. Whether you done nothing or whether you did something or didn't do anything, you should not have disrespected those police officers or any adult. Now, this is what I would tell my son. Because I want my son, if I had children, thank God I don't have any. If I had a son his age, I would want him to come home alive and uninjured. We'll deal with the police later. But if you know you've done nothing wrong, and the officers are stopping to talk to you, you know you've done absolutely nothing wrong, then just be peaceful about it. I've been detained so many times I have lost count. I never argue with these officers. They throw you back in a police car and sit you there for a few minutes and they, okay, I'm going to let you go because whatever reason, I say, okay, I'm going about my damn business. I'm not going to argue with these crazy people. Why? They got the upper hand. They're going to win any which way it go. Now, I'm going to be injured, possibly killed. Them officers doing me walking free. They might not be a police officer no more, but look what I got to deal with. It ain't worth it. But a lot of you all are going to say that that young man, the police are wrong. Now, I'm not giving the police a pass for their behavior. However, nothing's going to happen to these police officers. Even if they were charged with a crime, very rare these police officers get convicted of this shit. But this man's going to have to deal with a whole lot of injuries until he gets better. He might get a check from the city of Pasadena or the state of California, however it works out there, but it's not going to affect those officers. They lie because they can go get another job someplace else. That's how that works. It doesn't make sense to go into a battle with some people that you're not going to win. Not there. Had that man stopped, listened to those officers, shut his mouth, let them say what they had to say, questioned him. You know you ain't done nothing wrong. Why would you battle and fight back with them? They want to put you in handcuffs. Put them handcuffs on and get back to that police car. They're going to let you go in a few minutes. Give them that let them be kings for the moment. But a lot of y'all are going to say, oh, Walter, you one of them Uncle Toms and you a coon and this and that. I'm trying to get these young boys to go home alive and uninjured when they come in contact with the police. This has been going on for a long time now. I don't give a damn what we do or say, how many lawsuits we file, whatever. It's going to continue unless laws have changed. And they haven't changed anything since Rodney King happened back in the late 80s. They haven't changed anything even with these police. I'm 47. This has been going on way before I was even born. But his injuries were uncalled for. But had he just calmed down, listened to what they had to say, even had to sit in the back of a police car. But fighting back, not listening to direction, this could have led to this man's death over nothing. But he did, thank goodness that didn't happen. But I bet you all $10 million. These officers are not going to be, they're charged with a crime. I doubt it. As far as I saw, they were still on the police force. In fact, I was trying to find a statement as to what the police officers, are the police still supporting these officers? Okay, so the police department is conducting an internal investigation. Meanwhile, the officers Larry Esperanza and Zachary Lajon, these weird names, remain on duty. City officials have released few other details about what happened and declined to comment further. After his arrest, Ballo was booked on suspicion of assaulting a peace officer with a deadly weapon and held in jail for more than a day before being released on bail. The district attorney's office declined to file charges against him, citing a lack of evidence. Ballo, whose leg was broken, announced this week he has filed a legal claim against the city, the police department, and the officers. The Pasadena police have a history of being violent with black residents, or blacks, or just using excessive force. There are other articles here where police have injured, or they've killed several people. In Pasadena, police shot and killed 19-year-old Kendrick McDade after a false police report, a false 911 report of an armed robbery. The district attorney's office cleared officers of criminal wrongdoing, but an independent consultant hired by the city faulted them for making tactical mistakes that helped lead to the shooting and criticized the police department's investigation into the killing. Last year, more than 500 people marched to the heart of Pasadena after the death of Reginald Thomas Jr., who had a history of mental illness. Police said Thomas was armed with a knife and a fire extinguisher and was uncooperative. An attorney for Thomas' family said police used excessive force when he was tasered, then kicked in the head and hit with a baton, causing his death. Okay, so, yeah. The Pasadena police have gone too far on many occasions. I will say this again. If this was my son, I would want him to come home uninjured. Since after all this mayhem and confusion, the Pasadena police got away with this type of behavior, excessive force, for years. Here's the catch. They're going to keep getting away with it too. Now, ain't shit going to change. And I would not want my son to be laid up in, and I'm not saying, if you're going to change the tactics of the police, you got to get in control of the police department. If the Pasadena police are using excessive force, then you need to begin electing officials, or, here's a better one, a lot of blacks should need to be applying for the Pasadena police force so they can change their internal operations, so that they will stop using excessive force against minorities. That's how you change this stuff. All this other stuff ain't gonna work. It hasn't worked for years. So, again, that young man should have been peaceful with those officers so that he could live to see another day, uninjured. He would have a broke leg right now and had all those other injuries about nothing, since he knew he'd done nothing. So we can't sit here and say, okay, so let's say the police stopped him and questioned him, and he knew he had done anything. What outcome could possibly have happened? Either they're going to charge him with a crime or not. Since he said he hadn't done anything, but you repeatedly said in that video, the police officers could even if they would have charged him with something, they would have to prove this later. This would have to be, whatever they were trying to say accused him of, all this would have to be resolved in the courtroom. So, this is my problem with all this with that young man. Again, had he been peaceful, stopped, listened to those officers, his goal should have been to get home alive and uninjured. Forget your pride. Because this is what it boils down to. How dare you stop me? Yeah, and you're not the first person that's going to be stopped. You know you've not done anything wrong. You're just going to get some gas. The officers will stop you, listen to them. Even if they want to detain you, just go peacefully for the time being. Especially if you know you ain't done nothing. You haven't done anything. To fight, argue. And like I said, I know a lot of you all are not going to like this because y'all going to say, he should do this and he should have did that and them officers should have did this. They were in control of the situation. Not him. Anytime you have an encounter with the police, they are in control. Whether you like it or not. Even if you ain't done nothing wrong. The times I've been arrested, 99.9% of the time I did do something wrong. So I was sitting here and argue with these people. There were some times I was arrested and held in jail and released and I hadn't done anything. But I wasn't going to argue with those officers. I was just going to wait to have my day in court. And the charges were dismissed. Did I not like the inconvenience of being arrested in jail? Of course. Who wants to spend a night in jail? Nobody. Especially if you ain't done nothing wrong. I'm not going to argue with these police officers and get injured and my face bashed in and broken skull, broken bones, and possibly death over nothing. It ain't worth it. While you laid up in the hospital recovering from these serious injuries, they out eating a steak. Laughing about your ass. I don't think that's a good idea. But again, everybody's not going to agree with me on this. And I accept that. I'm just saying what I would, if this had been my son, what I would have preferred he did, if this was my son, or anyone that I personally knew. Because the injuries he sustained may affect him for the rest of his life. And he could have possibly been killed by those officers. And they possibly many times they would have walked scot-free. I'm going to keep a close eye on this case to see will the officers be charged with any crime. Will they even be at least taken off the force and made to sit at a desk for some time? There's a lot of questions. We shall see. But I just hate that this young man made a decision that didn't work out in his favor yet. He may win a lawsuit. He may win a financial settlement. I could use a financial settlement myself right about now. He may win. He may possibly win. It's going to take some time. Anyway, I look forward to reading y'all's thoughts and opinions. I'm exhausted. I've been up all day. I said I'm going to make a video every day. I was trying to do this video earlier today, but it just wasn't possible. So I look forward to reading y'all's thoughts and comments about this. I can imagine what y'all got to say. But today is just Wednesday. It's January 3rd. And I look forward to reading you all's thoughts. And I'm just curious what you all think. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me. This man suffered serious injuries I think could have been avoided. That's my whole point. If you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a good night and do something productive with your lives.